Hey there everyone, it's Kathy and you're back here in my craft room and on my YouTube channel, Kathy's Random Acts of Stampin'. Thanks so much for tuning in today. It is Saturday and I thought it would be a great day just to do a fun card where I'm just going to sit and kind of throw some things together and see what happens. So I'm going to be using the Time Worn Type 3D embossing folder. I am using the Dainty Delights dies and also the Stylish Shape. Let me pull my folder over here. Stylish Shape dies. I pulled them out of my sleeve and I always put the name here so that when I file them I can see what they are. But anyway, these are going to be the focal point of our project today. And so what I did is I took a piece of let's see, I wrote down my measurements, 3.25 by 4.25. And I took my Stylish Shape die. What happened, I started working on this and I was playing and I thought I'm just going to turn my camera on, and I had already gotten this far into it. My Stylish Shape circles, the next to the largest one, I put it on this piece of cardstock, just, you know, centered. I put it a little bit further up to the top because I wanted a little room down here, and I cut that out first. Then, because if I had embossed first and then die cut, it would have pushed all my embossing out. So once I cut my shape out, then I brought in my Time Worn Type embossing folder, lined it up like this, ran it through my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, my big one, and this is what I ended up with. If y'all remember, if you've been following me for any length of time, you know that I did some I don't even know what we called it, but I took my alcohol markers on vellum and I made some of these beautiful patterns on vellum. This one would be pretty too. This might even be prettier than what I was using. No, I'm going to use the one that I've already picked out because I've already embossed it and I've cut it down. We'll work with more of these, and if anybody wants to see me do these again, I'll link the original video down, but we might revisit this. I've been thinking of revisiting some of my older videos. In fact, the lattice card is one that I want to revisit, so we'll be looking into that again too. But I found this piece and it was just beautifully done, and I had used some of the gold flecking where I put some glue down and then rubbed the flecking into it, and Stampin' Up carries that, so if you're interested in it, it's in the catalog. I'll link it in the PDF tutorial so you'll know what I'm talking about. But anyway, I put that on and then I rubbed it and got it off. That piece was as big as this one. This piece was, and I cut it down to 4 by 5.25. I wanted that to be a mat on my card. So with that being done, and where's my circle? Okay, so we've got this piece and we're going to put it on. I'm trying to make sure that my type is going the right way, and I think it's like this. So I'm going to put this on here. Let's go ahead and cut before we go any further. Let's cut a card base, and I'm using the thick basic white, and bring out my trimmer, and I'm going to cut this at 5.5 on the 11-inch side. I'm cutting it, lining it up over here at 5.5, and we're going to cut up. And then I'm going to turn this to 4.25, and I'm going to score. That gives us a nice card base to work with. So I'm going to go ahead and line this up nice and even, and then get my bone folder, and I'm going to give this a really good score. Alright, now we can go ahead and put this piece down onto our card base, and this is going to act as our first mat. And that's just beautiful, isn't it? And I'm not sure if I want it to go, I think I want it like this. So to put this down, I am going to use glue dots. Glue dots, not easy for me to say, work better on, I'm going to lay my scissors right here to kind of hold this down where I can pull these glue dots off. And I'm going to take my Take Your Pick tool, and I am going to just put one in each corner. Just like that. You want something that's not going to show behind your vellum, but I think we're safe with this because of the fact that it is embossed. I think we'll be okay with the glue dots. I don't like to use, I just flicked that up there, I think I did. I don't like to use glue on the back of these because it does have a tendency to show a bit. So let's put one right about there, and another one. I just want to get enough of glue dots on here where I feel like this is going to adhere really well to my card front. So I'm going to lay this down about like this. Where I made these, I think that video has had the most views of any video that I've ever done. The views are like way up there. So I may need to revisit that technique, but you know, we'll see. All right, the next thing we want to do is put this down, but I want to pop this up. So we're going to use dimensionals for that. So I'm going to pull out my dimensionals, and I'm going to put one here, one there, one right there, and one here. And I think for good measure, I'm going to put one here and one here. Now I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool because I can pick these off so much faster with the Take Your Pick tool than I can taking them off with my fingers. So just pull them off like that. And now we're ready to set this down, just like, I'm going to set this over, off center it just a hair, just like that. And see, we should have put one right there and here. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool to help me line it up underneath there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on the end of my Take Your Pick. I've taken the backers off of both sides so it's sticky on both sides. So I'm going to go just like that. And let's see if we can slide it under here like so. Then we're going to do one more. We'll be smarter this time. I'm going to take the backer off with it on my Take Your Pick tool. This will make it a lot easier. And I'm going to slide it right there and sit it down and pull that out. And that's a good way to put dimensionals. If you ever find that you need to put dimensionals on, that is the best way to stick them up underneath an area that you probably hadn't thought about. Okay, so we got that done. From the Dainty Delights, I cut using a scrap of Granny Apple Green, this die cut right here. Let me show you just how pretty this piece is. Isn't that gorgeous? And we're going to frame that around that circle, and it's going to look like this. Isn't that gorgeous? I love this Dainty Delight die set because you don't have to use the stamps with this. You can make a card just from using this. Now I took a piece of, there's another die in here, and it cuts out several pieces at one time, and it's this one right here. And I cut it twice in Starry Sky and once in Daffodil Delight. And then I cut several of the little leaves. So I've got lots of little pieces here. The leaves you can cut 2 at a time. And these are like little half leaves, but they work so beautifully on this. So let's pull over all of my little die cut pieces. You can see I've got lots and lots. I'm going to put these dies back over here to get them out of our way. The first thing I think I want to do is I want to set this piece down like that. And I am going to glue this down. So I'm going to use my liquid glue, and I'm just going to come in here and run some glue up the piece like so. I'm getting some on each one of those little leaves. You don't have to have it on every little piece, but you want enough that will adhere it where it will stay in place. Okay, so now that we've got that, we've got glue on it, we're going to wrap it about like that. Give it a little press. Let that adhere. We're going to come in now with the little flowers, and I've got the two colors. I might have wished I'd gotten another color, but we're going to put these on, and you see how you've got the little V on these flowers right there? I got glue on my finger. You want those flowers to go onto your piece like they're on the vine, like that. So guess what we're going to do? We're going to pop these up using some mini stamping dimensionals. So let me pull that over. I love the little minis. They're so neat, and you can use them in so many tiny places. So we're going to put one right here. Take the backer off. And we are going to put this one down right about there. And let's do a yellow one. Okay, I think I'm just going to use my fingers for these. I think the little ones I can do better with my fingers. They're so tiny. Okay, so we're going to put this one, let's put this one right here. And we got this other little one. He's going to go right there. He's tiny. He's even smaller than the first ones I put on. So let's see if we can hide a dimensional back there. I think we can. So it's so much fun to sit and build your cards like this. I find this relaxing and just so much fun. Okay, here's a little bud. This one I'm going to glue down, and I'll tell you why. I really think that this one will do better being glued. And what I'm going to do to make it easy on myself, I'm going to pick it up with my Take Your Pick tool, the putty end. I'm going to put my glue where I want this flower to live. I want it to go right here. Won't take a whole lot of glue, just a tiny bit. And then I'm going to sit that into that glue, just like that. Isn't that gorgeous? I'm loving this. I am really loving this set. And you will find that there's so many little places that you can, use these. Let's put this one up here. I think we can do a dimensional on this one. Somewhat. Okay, that one is good. So let's do another bigger one. We can definitely do the stamping dimensionals on this one. And this one's going to go, I don't know, let's put him up here higher, right about there. And then we can drop this little yellow one right here. I like to do them where I've got a yellow and a blue, a yellow and a blue. So I'm going to put glue there. Again, I'm going to come in with that Take Your Pick tool and pick that up and just sit it like that. Oops, I think I need a little bit more glue. And sit that one right about there. And then we're going to get another blue one, and we're going to put that there. I think this is going to be so pretty because I think the colors are going to play off of each other really well. I picked up two of those, but that's okay. I'll go ahead and put one on that one. And let's do one right about there. need to do another yellow one. Now I've got more blue than I do yellow, which doesn't make me sad because I was using my main color, the blue, with the accent of yellow. So I think we'll be okay. I think I'm going to put another blue one right here. And we're going to do a yellow one. I think I want a yellow one sticking out right there. And this one is going to look as though it's hanging off right about like that. Isn't this pretty? I hope y'all are loving this as much as I am. I thought it was so pretty the way this set works. And then we can come back and put some leaves in. We'll do that. Let's put a couple more flowers on. I think I'm going to put this blue one maybe right here. I think I want it to be hanging off something like right here. That looks like enough of glue. That might be a little bit of an overkill, but you know what? It's all right. That's going to hold it right there like it's hanging off of the leaf, which is pretty. And then we got one more blue one, and this is kind of a small one. I'm going to use, I think I'm going to use a dimensional and see if I can get this one. Maybe right about here. I like that. Now we're going to come in with the leaves, and the leaves are going to go, I'm just going to come in with glue, and I'm going to tuck these leaves in every here and there. So I'm going to put a leaf there, and you want to be careful, make sure you're getting the right side up, because the underside has a tendency to have the marks on it from the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. So that's why you want to make sure that you're getting your flowers, the leaves where you want them, and not just, okay, so let's go right here with this. I'm going to put some that are kind of hanging into the middle of this, maybe like that. And this one, like I said, just a smidgen of glue goes a long ways, and we're going to stick him down right there. Couple more leaves to go and we'll be done. I want to leave right there. We got one more, and I think this one is going to go right about here. So I'm going to put just a tiny bit of glue on the back of this one and then just tuck it right under there like so. Okay, that much of our card is done, but we need something focal here. I don't want to cover up the beauty of this opening, but I do want something that's going to stand out, so to speak. So I'm going to use this daisy. This is in this punch as well. I'm going to grab a couple more of the leaves and the stem, and we're going to see if we can cut this all out of that scrap that I already had. And I think that's going to make a beautiful, so we have the scrap right here. So I think we can get the stem here. Yep, that'll work. So I'm going to go ahead and tape that down. We can get the leaves here, and I want to do this out of this. But I need something for the middle of my flower, and I think I'm going to go back to, did I save that little piece? I don't think, yes I did. This little piece of yellow is going to work perfect for that, and we are going to cut these little pieces that go on our flowers, and there's 4 of them on there. I don't need all 4 of them, but you know what, we're going to cut them and then we'll come back. We're also going to put some gems in the middle of these flowers, and that's going to bring the whole card to life. You can see this is going to be a really stupendous card. Done a little different than my style of cards, but nonetheless, I think it's gorgeous. So let's get our little Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine out. And this one we can definitely use our mini. So I'm going to open it up, grab my plates. So I got 2 number 2 plates and a number 1 plate. And somebody was telling me in a video that they only got a number 1 and 2 number 2 plates. You need to contact Stamping Up because you should have gotten a number 4 and a number 3. You should have a 1, 2 2s, 1 3, and 1 4. Those are your standard plates that come with your Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Whether it's this one or the white one, makes no difference. You should have gotten all of those plates. So I'm going to load these up on here. I'm going to try to cut everything with one swipe if I can. So that can go there. I might have to do 2 swipes. That can go there. So I'm going to go ahead and close this up and cut these. And there went my Take Your Pick tool. Pull that out and see our little dots well, one of them's gone. What happened to it? Oh well, we only need one, so that should be sufficient. And there's our little daisy. So cute. So I'm going to lay those all up there. Now we are going to die cut these. So a couple of leaves and our stem. So there we go. Bring this back in the center and let's run. It's going in against a straight object and it doesn't want to go. Whenever that happens, just reposition your paper. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece up. I'm going to lay this piece here. And I'm going to take my leaves and put them down here. Now this will go through much easier now. You were fighting against that straight edge, so anytime that happens, just pull it back and reposition and you should be fine. Alright, so those are all cut. I think that's everything that we need as far as our die cuts go. There's our stem, our 2 leaves. So I'm going to lay these back over here. These tiny dies are so easy to lose, so I would always suggest putting them back on your magnetic sheet once you're done. So let's move these out of the way. Let's get that little stem because that's a tiny little stem. I am going to get a silicone craft sheet to work on. I had to turn that plate over, so I did. And oh, there's the other dot. I knew it was here somewhere. Let's get a silicone craft sheet because we're going to get messy with glue. Okay, goes like that. And we've got our daisy. Let's put a little glue right in the center. And I'm going to pick up one of these little round pieces to go right there in the center. So cute. Then we're going to take our stem. I'm trying to decide. I think I want it to come off of the edge of the paper right there. And then this will go on right here. So I'm going to turn that over and I'm going to put glue right on the middle like that. And I'm going to set my stem down into the glue. Just let that dry for a sec. Now we got these cute little leaves. Make sure you're turning them in the right direction. And you want them to go like that. And like this. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on with the dimensional right here. So let's see if it will accommodate a big, no, the big one's too big. Let's do a mini. When they call these Dainty Delight, they are definitely dainty. So this is going to go right about there, and like I said, I want this to be coming off like so, and then we're going to put some glue underneath that to glue our leaves and this down. So I'm going to lift this up and just bring a string of glue, set that down in the glue. I'm going to take my leaves and stick them on as well, just like this. Okay, now all we need is a sentiment. You know, I'm noticing that I'm a little crooked with my dimensionals, so I'm going to lift up just here and here, maybe here, and see if I can move this over just a tiny bit. That looks much better. Okay, so now all we have to do is put some gems on here, put a sentiment across the bottom right here, and this card will be done. But I want to put some gems on here, and I think I'm going to use the Rhinestone Basic Jewels. They're always good for flower centers. They give your card a little sparkle, and I'm going to use the smaller ones right here, and I'm just going to drop a gem on, just like that. I'm going to do the yellow ones as well. That's going to be kind of an overkill on gems, but you know what? I think that when you do this to your cards, you really are adding so much to it. And who wouldn't love to get a card that's all blinged out? Now the little buds aren't going to get one, but all of the bigger flowers are definitely going to get a gem. Isn't that gorgeous? It's amazing what a few gems can do to the front of a card. Now all we have to do is put our sentiment on, and this card's going to be done. So for my sentiment banner, I'm going to turn back to my stylish shape dies, and I'm going to grab maybe this banner. Yeah, I think we can do that right there. And I'm going to grab a piece of Daffodil Delight, or do I want blue? Yeah, I'm going to do Daffodil Delight. And look, I got scraps that I can cut that out of. Don't you love it? So I'm going to take this down right here, and I'm going to cut let's go ahead and cut under this too. Move that over. Little Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. We are going to need one stamp set to be able to get a sentiment, and I think I'm going to grab the Dainty Delight stamp set and see what we have on there that will work. So let's go ahead and push this through. I'm loving my new glass mat. I know you can probably see the reflection of my ceiling fan, but the reason I'm loving this is, for one reason, my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine doesn't move. Because it has the rubber feet, it works so well on the glass mat, and that is such a benefit. So like I said, I'm hoping the glare is not a distraction to you, and I think when I got something over here and I'm working on it, it's not as bad as when you see the blank mat. Alright, this is going to fit beautifully right here. I think right there would be a perfect place for that sentiment, unless we wanted to go Oh, we could do it right there. That would be pretty. I think if I do this again, I'll glue this piece flat down. The reason I'm saying that, it's very hard with the open circle to have something to really glue against. So I think next time, I think I'm going to put my sentiment right there. So let's look at the Dainty Delight stamp set. And I think Celebrate You will be the one that will fit the best. Celebrate You. I think that'll work. So I'm going to grab a stamp block, and I'm just going to come in with, I think I'm just going to come in with black. And I am actually going to grab, this isn't a Stampin' Up! Product, but I love my VersaFine for sentiments because they're nice and crisp, and they just always look beautiful. So I'm going to bring that over to here. And let's see if we can get it straight. Absolutely gorgeous. Alright, so now we're ready to pop this in right about there. So I'm going to put a dimensional under here and glue right there. The reason I'm doing that is so that it will fit even across my card. So dimension here and glue here, and I think that's going to be perfect. So I'm going to slide it into here like so, and then stick it right there. Isn't that pretty? This card just screams springtime to me. And right now, you know, with Celebrate You, it could be a congratulations card, graduate card. This could be a wedding card. I think I said birthday, but it's just, I love a card that we can use in so many different ways. So whenever I get ready to send this card out, then I can stamp my inside and know that I've got the right sentiment for the job. So let me know what you think about this card. Is this something that you would make? Let's zoom in so you can see it a lot better. About right there, and I'm gonna pull it down just a hair. I love it. I think the colors are just wonderful. I love the way that background really blended in. And what I did, I looked at that background vellum to decide what colors I wanted to play in. So the blues and the yellows and the greens were definitely my wheelhouse of designing this card. So anyway, thanks so much for tuning in. I hope you love it. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know where you're watching from. It's always interesting to see that. I love you guys so much. I couldn't do this without you. God bless and keep you. And if you want to purchase any of the products that I used in this card, all of these products are currently available. I didn't use anything that's not available. I had been using a lot of stuff that's not available until May 2nd, but you may want to grab some of these products while they're still available, and some of them might even be, I know the stamp set and the dies aren't on sale because they are carrying over to the new catalog. The Stylish Shapes are carrying over. I think the Rhinestone Basic Jewels are carrying over. The embossing folder that I used is this one is carrying over, the Time Worn Type, I think. The one that I used on the vellum was one of the online exclusives, and it's still available. So a lot of stuff is still out there. So if you're interested in anything that I used, I'll have a link on my PDF tutorial. All you'll have to do is click that. There'll also be a link in the description box below this video, and you can click there and go to my online store. Thank you so much. If you don't already have a demonstrator, I would absolutely love to help you with all your Stampin' Up! Needs. And as I always say in closing, let everything that you do and say bring honor and glory to our Father in heaven. He is worthy. So until next time, bye-bye.